January 23rd, 2018. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, being led by Commissioner Marilyn Brown.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from December 17th, 2017 executive session meeting, the minutes from January 2nd, 2018 organizational meeting, the minutes from January 2nd, 2018 general session, and the minutes of January 4th, 2018 briefing session?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Minutes have been approved.
Thank you. First up, we have the Sheriff's Office.
Resolution number 41-18, resolution authorizing a contract with Vance Outdoors Incorporated for the provision of the supply and delivery of firearms and accessories in the amount of $375,923.31.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Director of Administrative Services for Sheriff Dallas Baldwin. This resolution approves a one-year contract with Vance Outdoors to supply 9mm handguns, holsters, and additional magazines. The contract was competitively bid through county purchasing. The purchase of these weapons will allow the Sheriff's Office to transition to Sig Sauer models P226 and P239. Pending any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
Hey, thanks. I wanted to tell you that since the briefing, I did get outreach from one of the trustees who indicated that, from township trustee, who indicated that oftentimes they will align their firearm resources with what the county does. And so my question would be, is that going to be an issue for some of the other townships? How will they, if they're on 45s or 9mm, how will we communicate with them? And what he had indicated was, oftentimes if there's a joint situation and they need to share equipment, that's why it can become critical. And so if you could maybe just speak to that and the coordination, how that works for some of the townships.
I guess in terms of that situation or understanding with firearms, this particular purchase will allow the Sheriff's Office to transition to one similar larger framed handgun and one small frame handgun for like the plainclothes deputies. The detectives, things like that. What we have right now is currently we have people carrying 9mm handguns and we have people carrying 45 caliber handguns. With the transition to 9mm, everybody will be carrying the same caliber. Also, right now, while the Sheriff's Office has 200 to 300 Smith & Wesson 5906 and a smaller Smith & Wesson handgun that some of the deputies carry. A lot of them carry their own personal handguns, from Smith & Wesson to Glock. We have some Springfields as well. So going to that comment about sharing resources and things like that, this will allow the Sheriff's Office to have similar models throughout people out on the street, so that if there was a situation that would go completely bad, they would have similar magazines that they could use, things like that. We haven't purchased handguns. I've been here 17 years and we haven't purchased handguns in that time frame. The current models that we have, I believe, were purchased in the 90s at some point. So in terms of the townships buying similar style firearms, I can't really speak to that. They may purchase. They may have purchased some of those Smith & Wesson 5906, but in terms of the comment from the trustee, there's really not much more I can say to that matter.
But it sounds like this would be enhance the conversation because there's more consistency.
Yeah, consistency is the biggest thing with that
it.
for the Sheriff's Office, and that's one of the things that Sheriff Baldwin, we've been working on this for probably a year since he took office, to transition to a similar style handgun for everybody in the Sheriff's Office.
And Dave, if any of the trustees, police, wanted to purchase the same units, could they do that through this contract?
Is this? I don't know if this is co-opable, and Carl, he might be able to elaborate on that. I mean, obviously
These guns last an awfully long time. I have never seen this kind of resolution, and as you said, you've been there for 17 years. This is the first time we've done this.
Well, I would have to check and see if this is a co-opable contract, but I can say obviously they can. I don't know if they'll be able to buy them at this price, but they obviously can buy this particular handgun if they want to. Yeah, at this time, without going back and looking, I'm not 100% sure if it is co-opable or not.
Okay.
But generally speaking, though, as firearms go for law enforcement, 9mm is kind of the standard, and then, kind of fluctuates certainly, but 9mm is the sort of base, right? I mean, so probably most of the township police forces probably use 9mm. I'm guessing. That's maybe a question.
I guess, I don't know what you could call the standard, but 9mm is a cartridge that's used frequently, and 40 caliber is a cartridge that's used frequently. And I think the state of Ohio has 40 caliber as well. I believe that Columbus Police uses 40 caliber. But the 9mm is something that the sheriff's office has had in use for a long, long time. The 45 caliber, obviously, when you get up in higher capacity there, it becomes less accurate, we'll say, for somebody that has a smaller hand and things like that. A 9mm is a more controllable cartridge for the mass of people that would be, carrying those weapons.
Sure.
And to kind of going back to what Commissioner Brown said, there's basically two types of guns in terms of you have a polymer frame, or I guess some people call them plastic guns, and then you have the steel frames and things like that, which is what these Sig Sauers are. The polymer frames are kind of what some people would consider they're less durable. They have a useful life of a lot less time. The gun that we are purchasing is going to last a lot longer, other than the basic maintenance, switching springs and things like that. But the number of rounds that can go through these guns is substantially higher than what a cheaper polymer frame gun would be able to withstand. So that's why we went this route as well.
Great. Thank you.
Commissioners, Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. Looking at the contract language, this contract is not co-optable.
Okay.
It's only limited to Franklin County entities. We've just verified that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll move for passage of 4118.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 41-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fleet management.
Resolution number 42-18, resolution authorizing the settlement of a claim for damage to a 2014 Ford Interceptor sedan.
Good morning, Commissioners. Charlotte Ashcraft, Director of Fleet Management. The two resolutions before you are both requesting authorization to accept insurance settlements from accidents that happened in 2017. The first resolution is an accident that occurred on September 26, 2017 with one of our vehicles, a 2014 Ford Interceptor marked cruiser driven by a Sheriff's Office employee. This accident resulted in the total loss of our vehicle, and any potential injury claims will be handled separately. The party at fault is insured through Farmers Insurance, and they've accepted liability and offered to pay Franklin County $16,928 for the property damage. This offer has been reviewed and recommended by the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, and the amount offered fairly compensates the county for our loss. Pending any questions, I request passage of this resolution.
Move for passage of 4218.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 42-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 43-18, resolution authorizing the settlement of a claim for damage to a 2013 Ford Interceptor SUV.
The second resolution is from an accident that occurred on November 6, 2017 with one of our 2013 marked cruisers driven by a Sheriff's Office employee. It resulted in the total loss of the vehicle. Any potential bodily injury claims will be handled separately. The party at fault is insured by State Farm Insurance, and they have accepted liability and offered to pay us $17,790.50 for the property damage. This offer has been reviewed and approved by the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, and it fairly compensates the county for our property damage. Pending any questions, I request passage of this resolution.
Move for approval of 4318.
Second.
Moved in second and voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 43-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next, child support enforcement.
Resolution number 44-18, resolution authorizing a 4D contract with Encore Delivery Services for providing process services in the amount of $84,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lori Torriero, Assistant Director for the Franklin County Child Support Enforcement Agency. This is our annual contract for personal service of court hearing notices and administrative hearing notices, commonly known as service of process. Due to a change in interpretation of a state regulation, the agency was told to bid this contract annually instead of being able to have multiple renewals. Encore was the lowest and best bid of the two bids that we received. This is our third year with this company, and we're very satisfied with their service. And the state is looking to change that rule slightly this year so that because they know it's an administrative burden to go out for bid every year. Pending any questions, I'd request your approval.
Move for approval of 4418.
Second.
Moved in second and voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 44-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 45-18, resolution authorizing a consulting contract with Linda Norris for professional mediation services in the amount of $54,975.
Commissioners, this contract for mediation services with Linda Norris is a result of a successful application for federal grant funds through a program called Access and Visitation. The purpose of that grant is to facilitate visitation of the non-custodial parent with the child. We were successful in obtaining new funds for at least the next 2 years. And potentially with 2 more renewals, probably about 5 years. That's been the state's practice. Ms. Norris was our named provider in the grant, so that we did not need to do any other competitive procurement, and she was also our mediation provider under the prior grant that we bought. Pending any questions, I'd request your approval.
Move approval of 4518.
Second.
Moved in second and voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 45-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 46-18, resolution authorizing an employee training and recognition event on February 23, 2018 in the amount of $370.
Commissioners, this resolution is our annual request to close the agency and take all of the staff off-site for training and also some other activities. This year's theme is Teamwork in High Gear, so I am assuming that there will be some pretty fun team building exercises as well as the training component, and we'll also be celebrating 2017's accomplishments, most notably completing of our scanning project and converting all of our files to digital images. The $370 represents just the rent for the St. Agatha's Parish Hall, where we hold the event. All of the rest of the money for decorations, food, etc., is raised by the staff, by them and for them. Pending any questions, I'd request approval.
Move approval of 4618.
Second.
Moved in second and voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 46-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 47-18, resolution authorizing a 4D contract with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $337,421.62.
Commissioners, this is our annual contract with the Sheriff's Office. We contract for 2 deputies who serve criminal warrants and sometimes do extradition from other states if the court requires that, and assist with some other special needs like security at our Franklin County Empowerment Day. The contract is within the range that it has been in prior years. There are no major changes or surprises. Pending any questions, I'd request your approval.
Move approval of 4718.
Second.
Moved in second and voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 47-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Next, Homeland Security and Justice programs.
Resolution number 48-18, resolution authorizing a contract extension for transitional housing for participants in the Pathways to Women's Healthy Living Program.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Daniels with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. As you know, our successful program in the jail for women, our Pathways to Healthy Living program, has been running for a couple of years now and will continue to run for the foreseeable future. This contract allows us to renew for safe transitional housing for women who are coming out of the jail who don't have anywhere else to go. We use this sparingly, but when we do use it, it's absolutely critical for the safety of the ladies in the program. This would be the final contract extension, and then the terms stay the same as in the original contract. Pending any questions, I'd ask for your approval.
Move approval of 4818.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 48-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Purchasing?
Resolution number 49-18, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in an amount of $18,633,913.64.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuse, representing the Purchasing Department. Commissioners, before I present my resolution, I would like to inform Commissioners Brown and O'Grady that during their briefing, we reduced the Veteran Services purchase orders from 16 to 2 to provide for efficiencies in their operations, which were related to their transportation contract, and which also increased the total of their encumbrances by $30,000. This is a heads up. Commissioners, like previous 3 weeks, these purchase orders are also new purchase orders to encumber funds to pay for agencies' goods and services needed for this fiscal year. The resolution before you requests your approval of 321 purchase orders. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as availability funds by the county auditor. If any questions, I recommend their approval.
I will move for approval of 4918.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 49-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Carl.
Board of Commissioners?
Resolution number 50-18, resolution authorizing an assessment to move data center print operations to the Purchasing Department's print shop in the amount of $21,250.
Good morning, Commissioners. Adam Lukaupt on behalf of the Board of Commissioners. The data center wishes to move their print operations over to the county print shop within the Purchasing Department, hence Carl's here with me. In the past, other county agencies have moved print jobs and print operations to the print shop with substantial cost savings to the county. This contract will enable the examination of staffing, business processes, and equipment for both the data center and the print shop, and make recommendations for the transfer and purchase of equipment and process improvements, as well as develop service level templates with performance metrics for print shop customers. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
I will move for approval of 5018.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 50-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 51-18, resolution to designate the official representative and alternate for the purpose of voting at the annual meeting of the County Commissioners Association of Ohio in 2018.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Telerik with the Office of Management and Budget. Excuse me. This resolution would authorize Commissioner Boyce as the designated official voting representative and Commissioner O'Grady as the alternate pursuant to the Code of Regulations for the County Commissioners Association of Ohio. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of 5118.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 51-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 52-18, resolution reconciling 2018 appropriations to align with the amended Certificate of Estimated Resources.
Commissioners, this is our annual kind of start of the year cleanup as a result of actual fund balances being different than the fund balances when the budget was approved in December of last year. In addition, this resolution also includes a supplemental appropriation and transfer of $5 million to the Public Safety Center Fund from the additional funds provided by the state through the Medicaid Sales Tax Transition Fund. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Move for passage of 5218.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 52-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 53-18, resolution declaring that the unlawful distribution of prescription pain pills has created a public nuisance in Franklin County, Ohio, and has caused harm to the residents of Franklin County, Ohio, and to authorize the retention of special counsel to commence civil litigation against opioid drug manufacturers and distributors.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. As you are aware, Franklin County has seen the effect of the opioid crisis across the board. Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister is well positioned as a local lead counsel, a local presence with national expertise, coupled with Paul Farrell of Green, Ketchum, Farrell, Bailey, and Tweal, a West Virginia attorney licensed to practice law in Ohio, who has both designed a plan and assembled a national consortium of elite trial counsel to investigate, pursue civil litigation, and hold responsible both wholesale distributors and manufacturers on this matter, and importantly to focus on abatement that is specific to Franklin County. As you know, this is a two-step process. Several weeks back, the Commissioners authorized the application to the court to approve the appointment of outside counsel. This is the second of the two-step process resolution that does several things. First, declares that the opioid abuse, addiction, and morbidity and mortality is a serious public health and safety crisis in Franklin County, Ohio, and is a public nuisance, and also retains the counsel of Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister as lead counsel, with the firm Green, Ketchum, Farrell, Bailey, and Tweal as co-counsel, and any other such law firms as are required to pursue the interests of Franklin County in this matter. We also have with us today Rocky Saxby and David Butler of the firm Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister, should you have any questions or wish to have them make a statement.
Sure, we'll have them come up in a second, but first let me give Prosecutor Ron O'Brien an opportunity to comment, if you'd like to, on this resolution.
Thank you. We fully supported President Boyce in the selection of this firm and their consortium.
Great. Okay, thank you. Mr. Saxby, Mr. Butler, would you care to make any comments? Come right to the microphone here, and if you could state your name and who you represent for the record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Dave Butler. I'm the managing partner for the Columbus office of Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister. I'm here with Rocky Saxby. We are honored to represent the Franklin County in this important health lawsuit. And I think, just very briefly, I think everyone is familiar with this crisis, and it's been well reported about the current MDL lawsuit that is now pending up before Judge Polster in Cleveland, Ohio, in Federal District Court. That MDL which was an application that our consortium of firms applied for that MDL. It was granted, and the MDL was formed, and these cases nationwide have now been sent to Judge Polster in Cleveland, and it really provides a very unique opportunity to shine a spotlight on these cases in this crisis here in Ohio and throughout the country. And we had Judge Polster held the first status conference a few weeks ago up in Cleveland, and I'm very happy to report to the commissioners that it was Judge Polster is taking extreme initiative to put the highest of all priorities on this case, assemble all of the people that need to be in the room to address this crisis, and he's already appointed 3 special masters, which is unheard of, to assist with trying to get a resolution and trying to bring real change. There's a transcript of his comments at the outset of the court hearing a few weeks ago, where he outlined his thoughts on how he would like to proceed before turning everyone off against each other with discovery and litigation, to make a real concerted effort this year to try to get everybody in the room and get some real attention and some real results this year to this crisis. and he is well on his way. His comments were well received by all of the plaintiffs representing, the plaintiff attorneys who are representing communities coast to coast that were in the courtroom. I'm happy to report that his comments were also well received by the liaison and lead defense counsel for both the manufacturers and the distributors that expressed an interest in Judge Polster's desire to take this initiative. So we're very excited to get a key county like Franklin County to jump in and be involved, because as we envision, our group envisions Franklin County's role in these cases, it is a pivotal, unique, key role in the overall solution for Ohio. Franklin County, as the most populous, with its location, with its size, and with the resources and talent that are available in this county, that are already those resources and talents are already used as a regional resource in any number of areas for any number of public health and services. This is just a natural fit for Franklin County to continue that sort of role in the abatement plan that hopefully will come out by Judge Polster's efforts at a mediation or a resolution, but if not, through trial and through the MDL litigation process. So I'm here before you to thank you for taking this step to get involved, and we look forward to working with you all moving forward. And obviously, Rocky and I are here for any questions.
Sure. Are there any questions?
I would like to just say that, you know, we did a lot of our own research on this, and I know we had lots of discussion internally about what we hoped we could achieve by getting into this effort. And I know I speak for all of us when I say that we look at this as what we can do for our community going forward to really transform our communities as we look at ways to abate the issue of drug overdoses that have plagued this community, with our families, with our children, especially with everybody in our community that has been affected. And I don't know a family that has not had somebody that's been affected by this issue. But we want to look at this as a way to go forward in helping to really transform this community into, we are better than this and we need to do better going forward, and hold people accountable in a way that makes sense. That this is an issue that is important to everybody in our community. And you know, it's a tough issue. It's very complex, and we needed to have strong counsel to do this, and we're very glad to have you on board along with the others. So thank you.
Well said. The only thing I'd add is that, you know, while the lawsuit is this resolution we're focused on, and certainly is positioned to assist us with the long-term issues, we're executing an opiate plan right now. And we have asked all of our agencies to invest and think and plan around an existing strategy to abate the same issue that Commissioner Brown described. And so while the lawsuit is one thing, we're moving forward with working to address the problem now, and we're in hopes that the outcome of the lawsuit will assist us in the long-term part of the strategy. And so this is a key component and key step. And I just want to recognize and thank my colleagues, because I mean, there was a lot of thought going. It wasn't just, hey, let's file a lawsuit like, you know, all these other counties or cities are doing. We were very deliberative and very thoughtful about it and came to the conclusion that this was in the best interest of Franklin County residents, and it was our duty to get involved in this way. And so that's what you see before you is that step.
There's not not a lot to add to what my colleague Marilyn and Kevin have said. We've taken a long community-wide approach to this, worked with our friends at the mayor and city council president Zach Klein at the time, and now city attorney Klein. We've worked with all of our community leaders, law enforcement, our coroner, and David Royer at Adam H. to put together a community-wide approach to addressing the opioid crisis. And then this lawsuit has just been the culmination of the approach that we thought was necessary to take. And so together with the prosecutor and now your firm and the firm from West Virginia, we thought that this was the most sensible approach, and I think that Marilyn and Kevin have certainly hit on it. This is a very forward-thinking. It's not about sitting down and worrying about the impact over the last 10 or 15 years of this crisis and what that impact's been on our agencies. And I mean, we could sit down and go backward and look at the dollars and the impact and the cost of everything that we've had to deal with over the last 10 or 15 years in all of these agencies. But this is more about the abatement of how do we address this problem going forward. How do we assess what the cost is going to be on the impact of fixing this problem going forward, and how do we address the families and the needs of these families that are dealing with this going forward. And that's what matters to us, and that's what matters to this community. And so that was, I think, one of the biggest things about the presentation that your firm and the folks that you guys represent. That's one of the biggest impacts that you guys made on us going forward. So thank you. We appreciate you guys being here this morning.
And I didn't want to overlook a point you just made too, and that's to thank Prosecutor O'Brien for his guidance, leadership, and advice throughout this process. We certainly wouldn't be here without that, and I think as we go forward, it'll continue to be a way that we're working close together and taking your advice and listening to you. So thank you for your work too. So if there are no further comments, questions, is there a motion to approve?
There is. I move approval of 5318.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 53-18 has been adopted.
And thank you to administration for all of your work on this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Are there any generalizations?
There's one from Economic Development and Planning, case number ANX-01-18. An expedited Type 2 annexation petition was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on January 10th, 2018. The petition is requesting to annex 41.71 acres from Perry Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on February 13th, 2018.
Thank you. And that concludes our meeting for January 23rd. Thank you so much.